I think this. So want to congratulate him as well for hosting this important session on tobacco. And I think people should know about this particular, and all the participants who are here, I think they will be delighted to know how they can do compliance of our COTPA, or Cigarette and Other Tobacco Product Act. So basically, before that, I have been involved in some of the other activities with I think both of them. We have been collaborating with various activities, and this is tobacco is one of them. We have been involved in some food related activities, hypertension, many public health activities. So I had an opportunity to visit their institutes as well for other tasks. So related to this particular topic, which is very close to my heart, that is tobacco control. And now we say moving from tobacco control to tobacco endgame, which is now coming up in a big way. As you have seen, previously there was tuberculosis control, but now it is tuberculosis elimination program. So that is why this we are also trying that this program should now focus on TB, this tobacco elimination, or even tobacco end game, and we are trying for it. And for that, why it is important? So everybody should know here in this audience why we are after tobacco, why it is more close to heart despite having many other problems which are there in public health. Number one, there are 4 or 5 interesting facts I want to share with you, which make tobacco as a leading public health problem. Number one is tobacco is the only legal product in this earth, on this earth, which kills half of its users. You may not have found anything, hypertension, physical inactivity, fatty diet, all those things. So none of them kills half of their user, but tobacco kill half of their users. So if 10 people are consuming tobacco, 5 people will die due to this particular thing. So this is one interesting fact. Second one is, you might be people might be fascinated with other diseases. I'm not saying that don't focus on them, like TB, malaria, AIDS, but tobacco kills more people than combined mortality of tuberculosis, malaria or vector-borne diseases, and AIDS. So you can see that the mortality caused by this is quite a lot, which is more than, so that's why we should focus on this. The third thing why we should focus is, like, it's a very interesting fact. I think some of you might be knowing who are living in villages. In villages, like to protect the field or खेत को protect करने के लिए, they used to put the bandh around that उस खेत के चारों तरफ एक बांध लगाते हैं जो that कोई एनिमल आ ना सके. तो अगर वो ये टबैको जो प्लांट होता है उसका बांध लगाते हैं, नहीं तो नॉर्मली बांध के पत्ते भी लोग खा लेते हैं, जानवर लोग खा लेते हैं, पर अगर इसका बांध लगाते हैं तो वो जानवर इसको नहीं खाते हैं, टबैको का बांध भी नहीं खाते हैं. तो बट it is us human who are consuming this as well. So this is another interesting fact which you should know, that even animal don't prefer eating the leaves of tobacco. And wherever the tobacco plant is grown, you can't grow any other plant for at least 3 years. The soil becomes barren after having the tobacco plantation. So you can see this. The another important issue is that tuberculosis, AIDS, malaria, all are health issues, but primarily health issues. But here, it is not a health issue. Tobacco is a political issue. We always say it's a political issue because of the fact that the tobacco growing and tobacco procuring and everything, there is a lot of money involved into it. The second thing is, like, there are at least 13 ministries which are directly or indirectly involved in tobacco business. It includes, besides health, which is smaller, like taxation, because all the tax from tobacco products is huge. So taxation ministry, commerce ministry, Agriculture Ministry, and many other ministries which are involved in tobacco business. So alone Health Ministry can't solve it. So we have to take care of. So we always also say it's a social issue, it's an environmental issue, because social issue, because it's not only impact the health of a person who is taking tobacco, but also impact health of the other family members, and also environmental issue, degradation of soil and environment, and all those things are there. So that's why we are all focusing on health, and it is very right that this particular workshop is focused on tobacco. I'm really happy to see that this workshop is focused, and I think there is one more complete session on tobacco cessation, which will be there as a part of this workshop, this conference. So I hope you will attend that, those who are interested in it. Now about this COTPA. Because of this huge problem, the Indian government was the signatory of Framework Convention on Tobacco Control. It is the single largest public health treaty which was done under the auspices of WHO. This is really important because this is one of the treaty. It's not tuberculosis or AIDS or malaria, which was done under the auspices of WHO. They have recognized that tobacco is a problem, big problem, and that's why they did long back in 2003 Framework Convention on Tobacco Control, FCTC, and India is a signatory to it. Signatory to it means that India must abide all the rules and guidelines which are written into FCTC, and that's why India framed a National Tobacco Control Program to fulfill that obligations, and we have an act, that is COTPA, Cigarette and Other Tobacco Product Act. Now we have lot many things. I have told you, we have a global treaty, that is FCTC. We have Indian law, that is COTPA, Cigarette and Other Tobacco Product Act, and we have National Tobacco Control Program, NTCP. We have all the things in place. Now the thing is implementation, because every program, every policy, the implementation is always an issue. And how we can ensure its proper implementation? As a public health professional, we all are public health professionals. So we all know, unless we monitor a program, unless we evaluate a program, we cannot suggest the government that you should do this, because we cannot suggest all the strategies to the government. We should be able to suggest like the things are not good at this place, but things are good at this place. So this is how the compliance or monitoring plays in. So regarding this COTPA compliance, which I think will be initiated, the endline compliance of the district. So it has been, we have been into it since 2009, when the first COTPA compliance was done in 2010. I think we did in Mohali, one district in 2010, and thereafter many districts and many states have done that, and we have written several papers on COTPA compliance. So this is really, really important, and it has emerged now. Previously we used to do on forms, handwritten forms, but now we have developed a app on which we can enter the data, and we can, on Google Sheet, we can all see how the progress is going on. So I think in this workshop, you will see all those sections. You will be briefed about. I have seen the the entire schedule. You'll be briefed about all the sections, protocols, and then how to enter the data. And you will really go learn it after attending this half-day workshop. So I think without taking much of the time, I again congratulate Dr. Pankaj and Dr. Pradeep for hosting this very, very important skill building. I'll not say knowledge. It's a skill building, because you will be told about how to enter the data into the software, and you will really go learn it. And wherever, because now the COTPA compliance is going on in many states, so you can easily find a job when you will go from here after completing your MPH or this. So you can find a job in developmental agencies also. So I think again, Congratulations, and I wish all the best to all the participants who are attending this workshop. Over to organizers. Over to organizers, Dr. Pradeep and team.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable input and blessing. I now request to organizing secretary Epicon, Dr. Pankaj Bardwaj, sir, for vote of thanks and their inputs.
Thank you, Mahinder. Thank you so much. Now, it's my privilege to propose the vote of thanks on behalf of organizing committee of Epicon 2021. So at the outset, I would like to express my profound gratitude to our chief guest for the inaugural ceremony, Professor Sonu Goyal sir. He is a very near and dear senior of mine, and I think he has spared his time to grace the occasion. I know he's very busy, and most of the time he's there in the activities of RCTC beside having his regular routine activities in PGIMER. So thank you so much, sir, for being with us for this inaugural. I would like to express our sense of obligations to our respected director, sir, Professor Sanjeev Misra, for his kind guidance for each of such event we organize and for always being so supportive in all such activities. We are also extremely grateful to Professor Umesh Kapil, President EFI, and patron of the conference, GB members and of EFI, and in particular my friend Dr. Pradeep Agrawal for accepting our proposal to hold this event at our place. I convey our sincere thanks to the resource faculty of this workshop, Dr. Mahendra Singh, Dr. Yogesh, and Dr. Nandita Sharma, Dr. Dhanak, Mr. Arshdeep Singh, Mr. Ankur Bisht, and others who are joining us from AIIMS Rishikesh. Our special thanks to the administration of AIIMS Jodhpur, Dean Office for helping us in organizing this event. I would like to convey my thanks to the National Medical Commission and DBT for their support. I take this opportunity to extend our gratitude to all the participants who are currently here for this workshop. Lastly, I thank the chairpersons of the conference, Professor Kuldeep Singh, Professor Pankaja Ravi Raghav, and all the members of pre-conference committee, especially my colleagues, Dr. Prasanna and Dr. P.B. Sharma, associate professors from my own department, and who are the coordinators for this session. The PG students from our side, Prasanjit, who's actually coordinating this activity. And thanks you once again, friends, for being the part of this inaugural ceremony. And we are looking forward to an extremely productive sessions from now onwards. Thank you so much to all of you. And I think now from here, we can start our scientific session. Thank you so much.
Before we move to the scientific session, I would request everyone to kindly switch on their cameras so that we can just take a snapshot of all our attendees with our distinguished guests. I'll again repeat, I would request all our attendees to kindly switch on their cameras so that we can click a picture with our distinguished guest, and then we can conclude with our inauguration ceremony.
I request Mr. Ankur to take up the.
Yeah, I think most of us are there now.
Yes, so please switch on your camera, sir.
Yes, sir. We have taken.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you
very much.
Thank you all of you, and thank you organizers again.
Thank you very much, sir, for joining us. Now we'll be beginning with our first session of this pre-conference workshop. I would request Dr. Mahendra Singh to kindly take over the charge and go ahead with his presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Yogesh. Now we start with a scientific session of this pre-conference workshop. So in this pre-conference workshop, first we just brief about what is the CODPA and what are the various sections under CODPA Acts, and then we will see how will we can conduct the CODPA compliance in our area. There is a compliance, yes or no. What is the methodology? How we can collect data? Then we will see the data collection methods or data collection team, which consists of field workers, and our technology team will see so how we can collect data by manually and by help of API Collect. And also we will see some exercise. Okay, there is a CODPA compliance, yes or no. So I am taking the just brief about what is the that CODPA and what are the various sections under CODPA. So I am audible and visible screen.
Yes, Dr. Mahendra, you're audible and your screen is visible. Even the slides are changing. Please go ahead.
Thank you. So what is the CODPA 2003? The CODPA is the cigarette and other tobacco products provision of advertisement and regulation of trade and commerce, production, supply and distribution Act 2003. Actually, it is the National Tobacco Control Legislation under National Tobacco Control Program. There is a various law and legislation. This is the most important law under this National Tobacco Control Program. And the objective of aligned with National Tobacco Control Program, bring about the greater awareness about the harmful effects of the tobacco use, and finally the significant effects and bearing on tobacco control in India. So under this CODPA Act 2003, there is a various sections, and these are the 4 important sections. The section 5, 4, 5, 6A, 6B, and section 7. Section 4 is the belong to ban on smoking in public places. Section 5 is the related to ban on advertisement of tobacco products. Section 6, provision of sale of tobacco product to and by minors. And section 6B is the provision on sale of tobacco product within the radius of 100 yards of any educational institute. And section 7 is related to health warning labels on all tobacco products. So one by one, in brief, we will cover all these sections so we can understand if there is a compliance or how to conduct compliance. Before that, we have to aware about these all sections, because in compliance we have to find out which section is violated, which section compliance is present. So we have aware about these are the 4 important sections, and under these sections what are the key points. The first is the section 4 of CODPA. So this is the related to provision of the smoking in public place. So what is the public place? According to this section 4 of CODPA, public place mean any place to which the public have access, whether as of right or not. That includes mainly auditorium, hospital buildings, railway waiting room, amusement centers, restaurant, public office, court building, educational institutes, libraries, public conveyance, and place like which are visited by general public but does not include any open space. And these are some aspects. These open space like auditorium, stadium, railway station, bus stop. These are the open space which included as a public space. Other than the other public open spaces are not a part of public place. So these are the general list as per this CODPA section 4 regarding public places. We already discussed auditorium, hospital building, railway waiting room, bars, restaurants. So according to this section 4, there is a prohibition of smoking in these public places. Means in basics, this smoking is not allowed in these public places. If there is any smoking in these public places, means there is a not compliance of the section 4 of CODPA. of if there is a rules are the following, means there is a compliance of Code section 4 in particular public places. So there is some area under Code section 4 where these are the public places, but smoking is allowed. Only these are the 3 categories, like hotels where 30 and more rooms, restaurant where sitting capacity of 30 and more, and airports. But there is a rules. The smoking zone space or area is a clearly marked in these spaces, means in hotel, restaurant, airport. These are the 3 places under section Code 4 where if their smoking is allowed, but there is some restriction, there is some guideline. So as per specification of act, the smoking is allowed. This smoking area space zone is used only for the purpose of smoking. No such. Yeah, sorry. So these are the 3 categories where the smoking is allowed with some restriction under Code section 4. So there is some guideline in any when we visit a public places like hospitals, there is a railway station, we see this board. There is some this is the a board under Code section 4. There is some guideline. What is the size of board? What are the content of these boards? So this is the standard as per Code section 4. This is the signages which should be placed at every public place, every hotel, every restaurant, every auditorium, every waiting room, public places. There is this signages should be posted. These signages should be placed by the respective government under Code section 4. And this this size is the 60 centimeter into 30 centimeter, and this is the particular content. In content, if we see in the Hindi, in English, there is a no smoking area. Smoking here is an offense. The violators can be challaned with the fine of ₹200. So this is the standard language. This is the colorful image of non-smoking, and this is the standard size of also this symbol. And up in below part, there is some authority should be designated, the name of authority, designation of authority, and contact number. In case someone smoke here, please report to following authority. So this should also be marked in these signages. So this is the signages in Hindi. धूमपान रहित क्षेत्र, यहाँ धूमपान करना एक अपराध है, उल्लंघन करने पे 200 रुपए तक जुर्माना किया जाएगा. तो this should be in 30 into 60 into 30 centimeter, and with the part of like this. So this is the Hindi signages. यदि आपको कोई धूमपान करता दिखाई, तो this is the 2 part. One part regarding the jurmana and that fine. Second part, the reporting officer. If there is any person with the smoke, so you have to complain with, you have to report to which authority. So this is the information. So this is a 2 part. And if these signages is not present in any public place, this means this is a non-compliance of Code section 4. So this is the signages. These are the language, and this is the one special consider. White background must be present, and no smoking area या धूमपान निषेध क्षेत्र, धूमपान एक अपराध है, ये एक white background पे with predominant language should be present. And what about this symbol? There is also guideline for this symbol. Outer diameter of the circle not less than 15 centimeter, thickness of perimeter not less than 3 centimeter, width of the red band is not less than 3 centimeter, and cigarette and bidi with a black smoke. These all conditions should be fulfilled for compliance of Code section 4. And this is the some signages we see in our normal public places whenever we visit it. So some is there is a compliance, in some there is a non-compliance. In next presentation, our team will explain why in these signages there is a compliance present, why in these signages compliance is not present. So that is the next part. So this is the just example. Whenever we visit in public places, we should see there is a compliance or yes or not. These are the according to section guideline of section 4, yes or no. So this is regarding section 4. Now after section 4, this is the next is the section 5. The section 5 of CODPA is the related to prohibition of the advertisement of cigarette and other tobacco product. And what is the mean of the advertisement? As per the section this CODPA, the advertisement includes any visible representation by way of notice, means advertisement of cigarette and other tobacco product by way of notice. If any notice which promote the tobacco and other product, circular, any label, any wrapper, any other document, also any announcement which is made by orally or by any means of producing and transmitting light, sound, smoke and gas. So this is the advertisement. Advertisement is not just mean the pictorial presentation, yeah, just newspaper, yeah, movie, yeah, any. This is also include the orally announcement, any other circular, notice, wrapper, which promote the tobacco and other products. So that is the advertisement. And section 5 is related to, according to this section, the advertisement of any cigarette and any tobacco product directly and indirectly promote tobacco consumption is the prohibited. That is not allowed according to this section 5. These are two exceptions. इसके टू एक्सेप्शन है. वन इज द पैक एडवर्टाइजमेंट. द जो टोबैको प्रोडक्ट्स हैं, जो मसाला, दैट बीड़ी, सिगरेट, दिस एडवर्टाइजमेंट इज अलाउ ऑन दैट पैक, द सिगरेट पैक, खैनी, गुटखा पैक, बट दिस इज सम रूल्स एंड रेगुलेशन. तो there is a advertisement is allowed. Second, at point of sale, the places where the tobacco, cigarette and other tobacco products sale is allowed, at that point of sale advertisement is allowed. So but there is some rules and regulation. The why at point of sale is the advertisement is allowed to prevent its misuse by promoting tobacco use in general or a tobacco brand. So there is some rules and regulation which we will discuss in section 7. At a point of sale, tobacco, the advertisement is allowed with these restrictions. There should be some board, there is a particular size, particular background, colors, so that we will discuss in later. So we can also discuss here the maximum size of that point of sale content is 60 centimeter into 45 centimeter, and there is a health warning on top edge of a point of sale board. Where in many tobacco product selling shop we see the board, the prominent board, but there is some guideline. That point of sale board size should be 20 centimeter into 15 centimeter. The board should be in a black color, white background, and these are the permanent health warning in those board. And what is the health warning? The tobacco causes cancer, या तंबाकू से कैंसर हो सकता है, तंबाकू kills. These permanent health warnings should be pasted on those point of sale board. No brand packs or brand name or tobacco product and other promotional message shall be displayed. That is not allowed. And display board shall not be backlit or illuminated. Many times we see these highly illuminated is a very good light, prominent light, the visible from 200 meter, 300 meter. That is not allowed at a point of that is all are the non-compliance. So that is the sample of point of sale advertisement board in Hindi, like तंबाकू से कैंसर होता है, tobacco causes cancer, and this is the standard size, the white background, prominent health warning should be displayed at point of sale. So this is the example where is I am not commenting on the compliance and non-compliance that we will discuss in next part. Normally when we see this picture, this is the non-compliance. We see they are not following the standard guideline. These are all the point of sale shops where is the tobacco, the sale of tobacco and cigarette and other product is allowed, but this is the advertisement is not directly allowed. So, but they are not like this navy cut ad. So in this, there is a illuminated. It is like a illuminated board. There is a prominent board, and the warning is the very small letter. That is not prominent. And there is a promoting brand. The brand promoting is not allowed, and size is also is a big size. Like this, there is a no warning. There is a no prominent health warning, and in this. So they completely colored this shop with this tobacco gold flag and this. So completely the color of shop is also promoting the sale of tobacco product. This is the health warning. This is the health warning is also is a very light and is invisible with the background of the shop. So this is the completely direct advertisement at the point of sale. That is the non-compliance. So in this, there is a many source where is the non-compliance is present. So that is the day-by-day activity we are seeing in our daily life. So this is the related to CODPA section 5. This is a direct advertisement at the point of sale without prominent health warning and all. Then section 6. In section 6, there is a two parts, section A, 6A and 6B. 6A. The sale of tobacco product to under the age of 18 means minor is prohibited. 18 वर्ष से कम आयु वाले व्यक्ति को तंबाकू पदार्थ उत्पादों की बिक्री दंडनीय अपराध है. That is the section A. The seller should ensure that the person who is buying the tobacco product is not a minor. A display board to be put at the point of sale. So the point of sale, this board, this is the in Hindi, and also this board in any language which is the predominant in that area. And the sale of tobacco product to minor is prohibited, and the size of that board is the 30 by 60 centimeter. So this is the according to CODPA section 6A. For compliance, at a point of sale, this board should be displayed prominently. The sale to tobacco product to person under age of 18 is prohibited. Okay, 18 वर्ष से कम आयु के. तो if this such type of warning या such type of the banner is not present, display board is at the point of sale, means this is a non-compliance of CODPA section 6. Then CODPA section 6B is related to educational institute. The provision of the sale of tobacco product near educational institutes means there is a restriction, there is no provision of the in the area within radius of 100 yards of any educational institute. The tobacco product is the selling of the not allowed. So a display board is to be, and what is for guideline for compliance of this section 6B, or every educational institute outside the institute, there should be a display board. And what is the language of that display board is शिक्षण संस्थान के 100 गज के दायरे में सिगरेट एंड अन्य तंबाकू उत्पादों की बिक्री एक दंडनीय अपराध है, जिसका उल्लंघन करने पे 200 रुपए तक का जुर्माना हो सकता है. दिस इज द स्टैंडर्ड. ठीक है ना. the display board and which should be put up outside the each and every educational institute, and with sale of the same is the 100 gaj ke daire mein, 100 yards ke daire mein is not allowed. So this is the section. Yeah. And last, this is the section 7, 8 and 9, which is related to restriction of on trade and commerce in and production, supply and distribution of cigarette and other tobacco product. According to this section, there should be a specified labeling, the prominent health warning, the label on tobacco product. Each and every tobacco product, there should be a prominent labeling. And what is the language of that labeling? Content of that labeling, the health warning with pictorial warning. So there is a health warning with pictorial, And this is a standard guideline. Health warning should cover the one of the largest panel of the package of the cigarette and other tobacco product. It should cover the 40% area of the principal display area of the front panel of tobacco product. So this act prohibit production, supply, and distribution of cigarette and any other tobacco product unless it specifies the nicotine and tar content on each cigarette and package along with. So this is the section 7, 8, and 9, which is related to prominent display of prominent health warning with pictorial image, and this should be a prominent at a front of panel or front panel of the tobacco product. So this is the various compliance of 4, 6. These are compliance present or not. We will discuss in next part. And this is related to pictorial. So in some part, the pictorial images are according to corpus section 7, 8, and 9, and some part is not as per compliance. So in the end of in summary part, there is a 4 sections of CODPA Act, 4, 5, 6, 7. Mainly 4 part is related to that public place provision, ban on smoking in public place. Section 5, ban on advertisement of tobacco products. 6A, provision of sale of tobacco product to minors. And then 6B is the related to educational institute. There no sale of the tobacco product within the radius of 100. And section 7, 8, 9 related to health warning. So now we will next discuss in next part regarding to there is a compliance present or not. Our next expert team will discuss about this compliance part. Thank you. Is there any query? You can ask me now, or we can discuss in chat box also. So can we?
Thank you, Dr. Mahendra, for an elaborate presentation about the importance of CODPA and making our participant understand the various sections of CODPA Act in India. I would request you to stop sharing your screen. If there are any questions for Dr. Mahendra, you can drop those questions in the chat box. So now we'll be moving ahead with our session. So the next session is actually development of the research protocol for CODPA compliance. So myself, Dr. Yogesh, I'll be taking this session on development of the methodology for this CODPA compliance. So please give me a minute. I'll just share my screen and then we can go ahead with the presentation. Dr. Mahendra, are the slides visible?
Visible.
So thank you, Dr. Mahendra. And again, on behalf of Department of Community and Family Medicine, with the constant support from the organizing committee of IFICON 2021, I welcome you all on the session on the heart of any research study, that is writing the methods. So here I'll be discussing in brief about how you can plan the CODPA compliance for your own state or a district. And as our distinguished speaker has already said, that CODPA compliance is already initiated by most of the states. So you can approach your state for conduction of such CODPA compliance studies in respective states at the district level or at the state level. With this, we'll just begin. So we now know how what are the various CODPA sections, and we'll be just dealing with the methodology part. So what we usually prefer is, if you are planning for assessment of CODPA compliance, we would request you to develop study protocols which would be mixed method studies. So it would be either, and even in mixed method studies, we would recommend to develop sequential mixed method studies, which would be useful for you to, after you have assessed your CODPA compliance, you can actually get some of the reasons why there's lack of implementation or there's a very good implementation of some of the CODPA sections. So now coming to the section 4, which has already been discussed with you. So the section 4 deals with assessment of compliance for some of the potential public health places in a district. So those public health places are often categorized as accommodation facilities. So there's like lodge, hotels, rest houses, sarais. So these are the one which you have to cover for assessment of section 4 compliance. Then there would be eateries, which would be restaurant, bars, dhaba, tea stall, or any hata. So these would be the one. Or the educational institutes, they are again specifically covered at section 6B of the CODPA Act. Then you have office and workplaces, which would be government offices and private offices. Then there are healthcare facilities, which includes both government and private. Then most frequently visited places by the common public. So they are like bus stand, taxi stand, malls, markets, cinema ghar, amusement park, museum, and tourist places. Public transport facilities, which would be bus, taxi, maxi cab, so all these one, and hookah bars if at all they are located in your district. So so these are some of the places which are supposed to be assessed for compliance of section 4. Now I'm just going to give you the sample size estimation. Actually, there's a sample size formula for this, but what we would recommend is, instead of using the sample size, the final site comes to 240. So that is why, instead of going into too much of technical details how we have calculated sample size and all, we have actually shown you how many sites to be included from each of the district from section 4. So you have to in total include 240 sites in each district, which would be 25 accommodation facilities, which I have already listed in the previous slide, 25 eateries. Then there has to have 60 educational institutes from each of the district. Then 60 office and workplaces, which would include government offices and private offices. Then around 50 healthcare facilities, 20 most frequently visited places, which includes public transport facilities, and hookah bar if any. So for assessing the compliance of section 4, in total 240 facilities has to be visited and the compliance indicators to be recorded. For section 5, 6A, 7, 8, and 9, so these are basically the point of sale. The number is fixed, it is 210 per district. So in total for section 4, it is 240, and section 5, 6A, 7, 8, and 9, it is 210 sites are to be assessed. So it is very simple. Then so section 5 and 6A, you have to assess point of sale facilities, which includes the permanent or temporary, or the shops which are on two-wheeler or mobile shops or stores which sell tobacco product as a major or minor businesses. So section 5 and 6 will cover these point of sale. Section 7, 8, and 9 are basically assessment of pack warnings. So for this, you have to assess the tobacco vending shops or kiosk or point of sales, and the same tobacco vending shops or kiosk or POS, which are identified under the section 6A, which we have listed over here, has to be assessed for the section 7, 8, and 9. Now coming to the next portion of this thing, like what all tobacco products we are supposed to assess. So one of the tobacco products are basically classified under the CODPA Act under the major categories like cigarettes, which are Indian made. Then we have cigarettes which are foreign made, cigars again Indian made, and cigars foreign made. Then BD and smokeless tobacco products like Gudka, Kheni, Zarda, or subsequent of it in your respective areas, or your hookah or shisha in some of the place it is called. So the usage of those places, or local variety of tobacco if any. So you have to select any one of them from your respective area, and the same you have to study the compliance of their like cigarettes if you are assessing, then cigarettes of Indian brand or cigarettes of foreign brand, or if you are going for smokeless tobacco, then smokeless tobacco is only Indian brand. So these all have to assess, and the same should be part of your baseline assessment as well as your end line assessment. So your baseline assessment and end line assessment will give you the compliance of CODPA assessment in your respective areas. Then how the data collection has to be planned. So data collection has to be planned for each of the district. You have to select one of the administrative block from the selected district, and then you have to follow a survey path. So that survey path you have to pre-design before you start the data collection, and that has to be you'll select a center point, and in that center point you will walk in south, east, north, and west direction, and whichever point of sales or whichever areas which comes under section 4, you will be coming across that you have to collect the data for. Here there is no need of taking the consent, because here you are not going to interview anyone. It is basically assessing the signages or the warning signs which are supposed to be mentioned, like at the point of sale there should be signages that cigarette or tobacco products are not sold to a minor less than 18 years of age. So you just have to check whether the signages are there at place or not, and if it is there, we would request you to click the pictures of them. So these photographs will give an additional evidence, and that is one reason we usually recommend the data capture tool as EpiCollect, because here you can actually collect the data and click photograph, so that the linking of this photograph with the site you need not have to do later on. And at the same time, when you would be collecting quantitative data, we would request you to collect qualitative data, for which you have to conduct the interviews. Here you have to take the formal consent. So if you plan a study which is a mixed method study and you're going to collect the data by qualitative method, maybe you can plan in-depth interview, or you can plan a key informant interview, or if you have sizable number of participants, you can plan a focus group discussion. So if at all such thing is been planned by you, we would request you to go ahead with the written informed consent of the participants with the date, time, and place convenient to the participants. So point of sale and the various places under section 4, there is no need to take consent. But if you are going to interview an individual, maybe the vendor, the shop owner, or the vendor who's selling the tobacco product, or the end user, which you would have planned in your qualitative component, then you have to definitely take a consent. So that one thing you will have to keep in mind. Next one would be how you would be going to manage your data. So we have a session on EpiCollect 5, wherein if you need any of our assistance when you would be planning your CODPA compliance, we would be happy to assist you. We have some ready-made formats in the EpiCollect 5. And if you formally requested, we can definitely share with you. We can help you with the EpiCollect 5, how to generate the survey, how to collect the data. So you have to, we would usually recommend collecting data by EpiCollect 5. And then this collected data you can transport to any of the data analysis software of your choice. The choice is up to you. You can go for an open access software. You can go for a registered software, which is trademark protected. If at all you are going to collect the data in physical format, then you will have to do a data validation exercise. The reason is, since you would be collecting data on the paper format, but the pictures would be collected in a JPG, I mean, using a camera or mobile, maybe a mobile phone. So there, this task would be a little bit tedious for you, that you have to match each of the collected physical format data with the point of sale and those pictures manually. So this would be a little, I mean, I'm not saying this is not a possible step. This is quite a doable one, but that is one reason we recommend to use online data capture format. We recommend EpiCollect 5, but you can use any of them. This, if you use it online data capture format, this is going to reduce your burden of cross-validation exercise of the physical format and the soft copies of the pictures which you would have collected. And then the analysis, as I mean, most of the cross-section studies we mentioned, it would be collected in the and calculated as proportion and percentages for respective indicators of CODPA section. In addition to this, the next slide, I'm just going to deal with how these sections would be calculated. So it would be, you have to calculate the compliance to all major indicators of each of the sections, which include section 4, 5, section 6A, section 6B, 7, 8, and 9. You have to calculate based upon the study location, which is out of 240, how many of them have complied to these various indicators of CODPA. And based upon that, you have to calculate the mean compliance of these major indicators for the particular district. So it would be basically calculated by averaging the findings of all these indicators for various sites divided by total number of sites you have visited. And at the end, finally, you would be calculating the overall compliance for each of the section. So here it would be like section 4 has got 4 or 5 different headings. So each of them you will be calculating mean compliance, then you will be calculating an overall mean compliance, which would be district wise and area wise. And that has to be calculated by averaging all the compliances of all the sections of CODPA. So time and again, I'm not repeated. So it starts with section 4 and ends at section 9. So all these we'll have to calculate for overall mean compliance at the district level. And as usual, most of us are from the public health background. So you would be describing your results as descriptive statistics like number and proportions or percentages, and mean and median with the standard and interquartile range as their statistics for the various demographic characters like age, sex, and class if you're going for the schools, or you want to figure out what is like tobacco use among the school going adolescent, the age of initiation, or the level of awareness. If you have added another component, then that you can assess, or you can add product the data from the POS vendors and various compliance to CODPA sections. With this, I have concluded the basic part of the assessment program, that is the heart of any research, that is methodology. If there are any questions, any doubts, I would request you to drop your questions into the chat box. We would be happy to answer them. Thank you very much. Over to the next speaker. Thank you. Dr. Pradeep Agrawal, sir, over to you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. So now we are just demonstrating you the use of EpiCollect. Can we have the screen? Okay. If you go in your mobile phone, in an Android, there is an app, and the app name application that is EpiCollect 5 in your Android phone. We are sharing it in the chat box also. All those who have downloaded can put it in the chat box, yes or no. You are requested to download EpiCollect data collection for the Android as per the given link. Look, this is totally a skill-based participatory learning workshop. Till now we have done is good. We have got a response. Download it, sir. Very good. Every delegate is requested to download and put it in the chat box. Very good. Very good. So we have started getting responses. We request each and everyone to put it see on the screen and log in with your Google ID. Log in with your Google ID as shown on the screen. All those who have downloaded, log in Epic Collect with your Google ID. We are just resending the link again for the rest of the participants. We are putting the things on screen, how you can access it now. Can we move ahead? Anybody can put it in the text box. Please start from step 1. Okay, we are just showing you the screen again. You have to download it. Ankur, up karna. After download, you have to sign in the Epic Collect, that is the install page. Then in the install page, go to the 3 bars. For the 3 bars, go to download, and after that, try to log in. There is an option of login. In the login, use your Google sign in for login. These are the steps. Move ahead. Once you are login, then it is going to ask you your account. So whatsoever is your active account, you can use it, or you can opt to any other account. Once you are done, it is going to ask for your privacy settings, that you can go and say allow. Once you are allowed, then this Epic Collect has been customized on your name, and you will see your name over here. Hi, XYZ. Can we move ahead? Anybody can put it in the text box. I need more responses in the chat box of yes, then only we can move ahead. Okay, we are moving ahead. Can we go down? Now, once you are done, then you have to go with the option of add projects that is coming on the right upper top. That is add projects. Hold on. And the project name is Public Place CodePa demo version. We are putting it in the chat box. Click the option of add projects, and the project name is Public Place CodePa demo version. इसको move मत करो, इसको copy करके chat box में डालो. Okay, we are showing you the screen that is being displayed on your computers or your mobile phone. Yeah, there is a question. Shanti, go ahead. Shanti Kumar. We can't hear you. Your voice is not coming clear. If you can put it in the chat box. Okay, we are moving ahead and we are showing you a screen now. Switch करना screen. How many of you can see a similar screen that is coming is करना? Yeah. Yeah. Chrome. Can you see this one? Public places CODPA. Please put your response in the chat box. So that means we have got only 4 active participants. I can show you on the mobile also. It's coming like this. Okay, yes. Very good. CODPA BSS entries. Now you are requested usko highlight kar dena हमको. Just click an option of add CODPA BSS. There must be an option coming on your mobile, add entry. Okay, Imran, we are giving you a rights to present your screen. Can you present your screen? Imran को co-host बनाना. Dr. Imran, we have given you the rights for as a co-host. Please present your screen. Imran Ahmed Khan. Dr. Imran.
Sir, I am using mobile phone and laptop simultaneously, and I have open app in mobile, so it's difficult for me.
Sorry.
I have installed this app in my mobile, and I am on Zoom meeting with my laptop.
Okay. Okay. Anyone else who can present it up over here? Any volunteers? Any volunteer who can present the screen, will make them a co-host. Rupali Gupta. Dr. Tanveer Kaur Ahuja. Look, it is for our learning. Can we have someone who can present the screen? Dr. Anjali Agarwal.
Sir, I'm not able to download the application. I have the website
Now you
version.
can try, Dr. Anjali and Dr. Tanveer, you can.
Sir, I'm not able to download the application on my laptop. I have the website version
No,
in the
no,
browser.
no need of downloading the app on your laptop. In the laptop, hold on. मैंने डेवलप कैसे हुई आवाज वहां का खोलना वहां के क्या हाँ तो इसी को दे दो ना राइट अंकुर म्यूट वो करना वहां का ऑडियो खुल गया थोड़ा वहाँ मेरे को मैंने सुना होगा। Anyone who can share the screen can raise their hand. We'll give them a rights basically. Okay, yeah, we have got one. Very good.
Sir, I think is my screen visible, sir?
Yeah, previously it was visible. Go to the other one. Yes, it is visible. So now you need to demonstrate how you have got this slide to everybody. Okay, very good. Now I hope most of you must have seen the slide as shown by one of the participant, and you all must have reached up to this stage. Now you are requested to start entering your name in the field investigator. Your individual name you can enter over there. Everybody is requested to do that. There can be two options. One, you can make a data field of entry of your name. The other one can be you can pick up the pre-designed name. So you can pick up over there. Yeah. Place as a sample one. Just make it a I am a placeholder is the answer. Anything you can just go ahead. Go ahead.
Next. Please click on the next.
Yeah, you can write down the same thing. Railway station Haridwar. You can write down railway station Haridwar as a complete address. Good, very good. Now you have to press the button of next on the top. And all the participants are requested to participate. You have to send us the screenshot. Then only we are going to give you the certificate. So all participants are requested to participate. They have to send us the screenshot of the software. Then only we are going to release the certificate. So these are the different kind of the public places as told in the CODPA. You have to pick up which you are going for the compliance. You can make any one of them. Yeah, press next. These are the different questions that are going to come up for the CODPA compliance. Very good. Please ensure everybody have to send the screenshot, then only the certificates will be generated. Press next. Yeah, go ahead. Next. Now, before you go ahead, everybody have to write down on the chat box which section are we looking for the compliance. Public places CODPA. Section of CODPA. There are section 4, section 5, section 6, 6A, 6B, 7, 8, 9. So which section of CODPA? Okay, we can go ahead. Now the question is a signage. The signage which we have asked, yes or no. Okay, make it yes. Now whether the signage is displayed at the entrance and other copious space versus space, yes, make it yes. Now they are asking of the specific section of the CODPA compliance signage. If you remember, there were some dimensions. Click next. So now they are asking for the specific size 60-30 centimeter or 2 feet by 1 feet. Make it yes. Now if not, please write down the size. So not applicable. Write down not applicable. Okay, move next. Now, if you remember, there was something which we have specifically told about the text, that no smoking area. Smoking here is an offense. So whether this signage is written or not, say yes. If not, then write down this. If it is yes, it means there is a compliance. If it is not, then it means there is non-compliance. So it is against the law. So write down not applicable. Any. Yeah, you just keep on filling as per your own local requirement. Just keep on filling it. I again request everybody to ensure that they have to send the screenshot of their form during the post test. Then only the certificate will be generated. Yes, please go ahead. These are different kinds of the public places that can be assessed. So if you have made it a public place, if it is accommodation facility, eateries or airport, then only you can go on next. So press next. There are designated smoking areas these days which are available at public places. Yeah, read the question and answer yourself. Hold on. Go back previous. Yeah. Now there is an option. No, next. To ensure the compliance at the level of the field, there is an option. You can take a photograph from a mobile camera, or you can pick up a photographs that have been already taken while you have conducted this survey. So this give a data verification, authentication, and the data capture at the field level. If you want, you can just press take. So it is going to link here to your camera. You can press OK, allow. So suppose this is a wall coming, you can just click a photograph and it is going to be automatically uploaded over there. Perfect. Now you can press next. You need to save the entry and then just hold back. Now, once you see there is an option of upload now. There is a, currently there are two clouds coming. On the upper is an orange one that needs to upload it on the server. Once you have done that, along with the Haridwar, the empty cloud will be noted as it uploaded. So I request the participant to sync the data and upload it. Upload now. Upload data. So now you can go with the back. This is one of the entries you can see from the Haridwar. The cloud is green now and it has been entered into the cloud space, that is a server. Now we will take up the screen from here. Can I request one of the delegate to stop the screen sharing? Screen sharing, can you just stop it? And thank you for your active participation. We really appreciate your taking up this initiative. Yeah, thank you. We are sharing the screen now. So if you can see on the screen, we have got these many participants only who were able to upload the data successful. I request each and every participant to upload a dummy data to ensure that they have understood the exercise. For the record purpose, we are demonstrating what we have received from one of the participants. Can we have the screen? I request the participant who have filled the data, Dr. Imamul, and just to check whether the same thing have been given or not.
Yes, sir. So far the same
In
thing has
fact,
been
we
given.
can see the photograph also, the one which you have uploaded in the database.
Yes, sir. It is right only, sir. All the information what I have provided is same.
So every participant of the workshop is requested, till the time we don't find your name over here, we won't be able to generate your certificate. Software is open for you all and the workshop is open for discussion. We have got Dr. Nandita and Dr. Dhanak. You can put your queries and they would be happy to answer those queries. Along with me, Mr. Arsh and Mr. Ankur are there for the technical part. Whatsoever query you have got, it's an open one. Put your queries over there and we'll try to address those in the chat box. We will be refreshing the screen so that everybody knows how many are in and how many are out. So out of the 50 participants, we have got a response from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Only 7 are eligible for certification. Kanupriya, if you have uploaded but your name is not coming, we are just refreshing the screen, Kanupriya. Subita, we are refreshing the screen. Subita, we have got it. Kanupriya, still we are not getting. Kanupriya Joshi, yeah, we have got it. We have got it on screen. But do stay back over here for announcements which are upcoming. I got the link to join now. Sir, can we revise the form number of the times? No, once we have uploaded, you can edit the entry. No doubt you can edit the entry. You all are requested to put your own photograph for a record. Once there is an option of take photograph, you can take your selfie and put it on record with the form. You can take any photograph, but just for authentication purpose, we need that you are able to learn it. I again repeat all the 51 participants to fill up the form. Sir, is it uploaded? Is it possible to upload? No, that's fine. You can leave the photograph, but you can see on the screen all those forms that have been filled till now. We are refreshing the screen. Go to the last option, just fill up the form and everything. I hope you have joined last, so that's why. Next 3 minutes, we are coming to the end of the workshop. The link will be open to upload your responses till 4 p.m. and we are sharing a post test. Ensure you need to fill the post test. The posters link is coming on your screen in the chat box. Yeah. Posters link have been shared in the chat box. So we have got 50 participants, but only I hope 8 are successful participants who were able to make up to the conference workshop.
Sir, in post-test form, it is asking to upload a screenshot. The screenshot of what, sir?
Screenshot of EpiCollect of your mobile or of your laptop.
Okay, sir.
Dr. Tanvi, we are just refreshing the screen. Can you find your name now? Second from the top. Tanvi Kaur. Is that okay? I repeat again, this is totally the EpiCollect form, irrespective of a data that is being captured. We want you to learn how to put the entries. Once you agree upon that, we see your data over here, we'll generate the certificate. The screenshot that you have submitted, or in case, can you see your name over here? Yeah. Okay, then you can take the same screenshot and you can upload it that you have. Just share the screenshot of that form have been uploaded successfully. All those who are backbenchers or the latecomers are most welcome, but we are in process of winding up the workshop. Though there is a post-test form, but still you won't be eligible to get the certificate till the time you fill up a data as have been told in last 2 hours. So you are most welcome for the validatory session. All those who are just all those who are filling the post-test in a Google form are ineligible till the time we get the EpiCollect entries. I am repeating. Ma'am, please take your time. Dr. Anjali, please take your time. Time is not a hurry.
Dear participants and organizers, on behalf of the organizing team of AIMS Rishikesh, I extend my sincere gratitude for all the delegates who have joined into our workshop today. We would be really happy if we continue collaborating in the future. And again, I'm repeating, this was our best attempt of learning by doing. So with continuation of the same one, learning by doing, we would be keeping this EpiCollect link open till 5 p.m. You all are requested to submit your respectable data from your respective areas into the EpiCollect link. Once the link would be closed at 5 p.m., we would be, I'm regret to say, but we won't be able to generate certificates for you. So it's a kind request to ensure that you submit your assessment forms of EpiCollect before 5 p.m. With this, we have come to the end of this workshop. I would like to name some individual and extend my heartfelt gratitude to them. On behalf of our organizing team at AIMS Rishikesh, I extend best wishes and heartfelt thanks and gratitude to the entire organizing team at All India Institute of Medical Sciences, Jodhpur, and especially to Dr. Anu, the MPH scholar from from School of Public Health at All India Institute of Medical Sciences, Jodhpur, for her constant support and coordination at the conference secretariat. I thank you all again for joining our workshop. Thank you very much.